Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, with a short sort of podcast. I'm joined by a guest. Say hello.
Ghoulash here. Are you going to call me a guest in all of these?
Yes, I'm the host, and you're the guest.
Well, I was a guest in the last podcast, too. Shouldn't I technically be like a co-host or something?
No, you can't be the co-host, Ghoulash. I can be a host on my own just fine. I'm not an idiot. Besides, it's not like you're going to be my guest in every one of these podcasts.
I saw the scheduling sheet and it said I'm the guest in every one of these podcasts for the next 5 years. And then somebody named Tyrell takes over for me.
Man, I can't wait until I get Tyrell in here as a guest. But for now, you're the guest and I'm the host. It's not greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, and this is your other fucking host, Ghoulash. No, it's just me as the host, forever, with you also but as a guest.
Okay.
Anyway, in this podcast, we're talking about the first episode of the Scream TV series.
Can you remind me about what Scream is?
Ghoulash, it's only the premiere horror film series. It was about a guy in a mask who called people on the phone and then he killed them.
What makes it so special?
Oh yeah. Jamie Kennedy was in the Scream movies and he had seen horror films. So, he saw that the killer's pattern matched that of popular slasher movies.
Oh, okay, so the characters used what they knew about horror movies against the killer, right?
No, the killer still murders a ton of people. The characters just know about horror movies and make some jokes about them. It was innovative stuff at the time.
I see.
So 4 Scream movies were made. If I remember correctly, the sequels are all the same. They just made different jokes depending on whatever number they were at. Good times were had by all. Now we have a Scream TV series made by the Music Television Network, known mostly for airing reality shows exploiting pregnant teenage girls. Great stuff. Ghoulash and I happened to see the very first episode of this Scream TV series.
I didn't watch it.
Ghoulash, I gave you that iTunes gift card for you to buy the season pass of the show.
I don't have an iPhone. I have a Galaxy.
God damn it. Alright, let's just watch it and we'll come back to record this.
Do we have to?
Yes. Alright, we're back, and we've both seen the show this time.
We went to IHOP.
Yeah, we also went to IHOP after watching the show.
I wanted to see their new logo. It's a smiley face now instead of a frowny face.
Yeah, it kinda scares me.
It's just a sign.
Alright, whatever. Can we just talk about the show now?
Of course. Let me just finish my leftover pancakes while you talk.
Whatever. Alright,
Okay.
Scream Episode 1's story
pretty good.
was...
Yeah.
Could you not fucking eat those while facing the microphone? Alright, give me those pancakes. You'll get them after we're done recording this.
Fair enough.
Great. The Scream TV series starts the way every TV show should. With teenage girls making out.
Sir, that's really inappropriate.
What? I'm just saying that Seinfeld would have been greatly improved if it started with 2 teenage girls making out, and then cut to Jerry talking about the buttons on George's shirt. It would have been greatly improved. So the 2 young ladies are sucking face, but it turns out that they were being filmed, and the footage was uploaded to the World Wide Net.
Onto a video site called Cliplicious.
Yeah, here's the thing with that. The site they show is Cliplicious, but then they say it's YouTube. Which is it, Scream TV series?
Well, they can say YouTube, but they can't show it. They'll get sued.
Look, I'm showing YouTube right now. Try to sue me. I dare you.
So it's revealed that the makeout was recorded by a mean, popular girl and her boyfriend, I think. The popular girl goes to her lavish home and enjoys herself, relaxing, but then she starts getting creepy texts.
It's basically what happened in the first scene of Scream 1, but with texting instead of a call. Honestly, if you were to ask me which was scarier, a text or a phone call with a threatening voice, I'll always pick the text. Texting is scary as fuck.
The mean girl and her boyfriend are both killed by Ghostface. Well, it's kind of Ghostface, I guess.
Ghostface looks terrible in this show. He looks like the magic mirror from Shrek yawning.
It's clear that the show didn't have the budget to afford the rights to the Ghostface mask from the movies.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but the Scream mask from the movies already existed before the movies. It was made by a mask company called Funworld, who licensed the mask to Dimension Films for Scream.
Originally, Dimension wasn't even going to use the real Scream mask for the movies and was instead going to make a rip-off mask, until they finally reached an agreement with Funworld.
With the show, MTV obviously didn't give a shit about paying for the rights to use a mask, so instead they just combined Michael and Jason's masks, made it yawn, and called it Homage.
The great thing about the original mask is that the expression was so exaggerated and bizarre that you could instantly tell what emotion it was trying to convey. Fear.
With the realistic face, it just looks like a guy who's yawning while mildly irritated.
Moving on, we get to the meat of this show. The teen drama. Everyone in the high school is abuzz about the girls who made out, but they eventually move on to talking about the murder.
The main characters are established here. There's the popular girl who's nice but has a mother with a secret. She's kinda boring. Then we're introduced to the bi-curious girl who made out with that one chick in the car. She's into filmmaking and also she looks a lot like Freddy from iCarly.
Sir, you watched iCarly?
Well, yeah. iCarly was a great series. It was very empowering and inspiring seeing those kids make their own web show. iCarly is what made me want to make my own internet videos.
Wait, Dr. Wolfula, the only reason why we're here today, making videos on the internet, is because you watched a children's show on Nickelodeon that dealt with the subject?
Yeah, I especially liked that episode of iCarly where Fred guest starred. I wonder whatever happened to that guy.
Okay, I think we need to get back on topic.
Oh yeah, the next character is basically Jamie Kennedy's character from the movies. The guy's a nerd who's supposedly an expert on horror movies and serial killers.
The nerdy guy's purpose on the show seems to be pointing out how dumb and cliched the writing of the show is. Like having one of your characters point out your bad writing actually excuses you for the bad writing.
Yeah, at the beginning of the episode, this fucking nerd mentions that you can't turn a slasher movie into a good TV show because you have to stretch out the story and pad it. If you know that, then don't fucking do it. At the end of the episode, the nerd explains how all the characters are tired cliches and that you have to establish them before killing them.
Yeah, the only deaths in the episode are the first two. The rest of the episode is Degrassi high school drama. If Degrassi had murders.
Dude, have you seen Degrassi? No joke, there's a lot of murder on that show. Honestly, Degrassi is a lot darker than the Scream TV series.
You watch Degrassi, Dr. Wolfula?
I watch everything on Teen Nick.
Alright. The other characters on the show are whatever. You have another mean blonde girl to replace the one that died at the start. You're supposed to hate her, so it's hard to hate her because then you'll be doing just what the writer wants you to do. Then you have all the other male characters.
Oh my god, the dudes on this show are pitiful. They were all jocks and their dialogue always seemed to include the word bro. You can tell that Scream is a show aimed at teenage girls because it presents an idealistic world where all the boys are dumb, handsome, and subservient to their girlfriends. The boyfriend characters on this show are just pets that are in every scene and they say something inconsequential, like a bark.
The teen girl target audience becomes even more obvious when you see the only teacher in the episode. The guy looks like he could be one of the quote-unquote teen actors on the show.
Yeah, the guy is dreamy. In a not gay way.
Okay. The episode was mostly teen drama stuff that nobody who's a fan of the Scream movies would probably care for. Like boyfriends cheating, or a teen girl romantically involving herself with a hunky teacher.
Yeah, chick crap.
Alright, if you want to state it so bluntly. Besides the teen troubles, the show establishes its own backstory separate from the movies, about the town's long-dead legendary killer named Brandon James.
Brandon. That's like the least scary name for a serial killer. Brandon's the name of a guy who's the manager of a convenience store in Tucson.
That's oddly specific.
Well, that might be because the only Brandon that I know happens to be a manager of a convenience store in Tucson.
Interesting. Anyway, Brandon James was a grotesque young man hidden away from the world.
Kind of like you.
I wasn't going to make that connection, but alright. Brandon was born with a disease that's similar to the disease that the Elephant Man had.
In fact, it's pretty much the same disease. Brandon looks like Jason from the early 80s, or that kid from Mask.
He's not a looker, which is unusual for MTV. Brandon was in love with a girl who wasn't enamored by the unique charms of his face. So she screams and some jocks beat him up, or they think he's the dance floor. Then Brandon kills some people and the cops shoot him down or something. Not sure. I was looking at my phone for part of the episode. I think Brandon is a key figure, though.
Where'd you get that phone, anyway?
Found it.
Looks nice. Nicer than my phone.
It's the newer Samsung Galaxy.
I have the iPhone 4.
Not even the 4S?
No, I mean, it's just a phone, though.
Yeah, but is it really just a phone?
I think you're right. I need a new phone.
You want to take my phone?
No, I don't think I can switch from Apple at this point. I got the contract, and you know, this phone has all my contacts and music.
Alright, I personally like how open-ended Android is, though.
Yeah, that's nice, but I don't know. There's something about the Apple Store that compels me to buy an iPhone, like The store's white walls are telling me things.
That's pretty cool. Scream the TV series has this really annoying take on product placement that probably is done by every MTV show. Anytime a song plays in the background, a pop-up infographic will appear, telling you what the song is, who made it, and where you can get it.
It's like watching a TV show and seeing a character drink a Sprite and then something pops up and says, Kimberly is drinking a Sprite. Buy a fucking Sprite.
The pop-ups make the show seem like a platform for MTV to sell music to people without needing to actually make shows that focus on music. Like, when MTV makes a show, it's just a disingenuous push to sell products by making superficial, by-the-numbers TV shows for its young, impressionable viewer base.
MTV just knows that the teens will watch no matter what, and the hardcore fans will either keep watching just to complain, or like it mostly because it's continuing the Scream series.
But it's not really Scream. The TV show just sort of throws in enough of the familiar elements from the movies to be able to call itself Scream, when it's not really like the movies at all, except for having the horror references and a similar killer.
They didn't even get the same voice from the movies for Ghostface. Come on, that voice was so cool, and the guy imitating it for the show sounds so lame. How hard can it be to get a decent voice actor?
It's cheaper to get an unknown voice actor, and casual viewers won't care. The producers can just say,
"We want to take the series into a new direction, so we decided not to get the original voice actor."
They have Ghostface stalk a girl at the end of the episode in full costume, but he doesn't attack her and nobody sees him. What was the point of putting him in the costume? You could have just shown a mysterious figure in the shadows or a POV shot.
They need to remind people that Ghostface is on this show because he only does something at the start of the episode and sits around for the rest. Man, this show looks like it's definitely not going to be very good.
I don't even like the Scream movies that much, and I can say that this show doesn't deserve to call itself Scream at all.
Wait, you didn't like the movies that much?
Well, they're fine, don't get me wrong, but I mostly just watched them because they were part of the zeitgeist of the mid-90s.
If you're just neutral about the movies, then why did we bother to watch the TV show? Why are we doing this podcast?
Ghoulash, we're doing this for the fans. God bless them. They want to know what we think about this new show.
I mean, you can't get everything you want.
We can't say no to the fans, Ghoulash.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we can't possibly do everything that they want us to do.
Well, I think we should make a mini podcast for every episode of this show. Are you game?
No.
Don't you want to know what happens next?
Do you?
No, but the fans want to know what we think about what happens next.
Can I have my pancakes back?
Fine.
Oh, man. Really good. Want some of these?
No thanks.
All right. Ow. Okay. Ah.